Good morning everyone. This is Madhavi Karumodi, Assistant Professor in CSE Department. In this lecture, I will talk about stack data structure. In the previous lecture, I have already discussed about what is a data structure and what are the categories of data structure. In this lesson, we will talk about stack data structure and what is the use of stack data structure and what are the representations of stack and what are the operations that we can perform on the stack. So before going to discuss about stack data structure, let me explain a few minutes about data structure and its categories. First of all, data structures means arranging the data in a particular manner in a computer is called as data structure. So why we need to go for this data structures is, if you can organize or if you can store the data in a particular order, then it will be very easy to access. This is the main advantage or main reason to go for data structures. So as I said, there are two categories of data structures. One is linear data structure, and second one is non-linear data structure. Non-linear data structure. Linear data structures means here the data will be arranged in sequential manner one after the other. So here examples for linear data structure is array, stack, queue and linked list. Second category is non-linear data structure. Means here there is no specific order for storing the data in the memory. Here the data will not be arranged in sequential manner. So the example data structures that comes under non-linear data structure is trees and graphs. Trees and graphs. These are the general overview of the categories of data structures. In today's lecture, we'll talk about stack data structure. Let us see what is a stack, then what is the use of stack, where we can find this stack data structure in our real life applications, and then I'll talk about what are the operations that we will do on the stacks. Let us see, first of all, stack is a linear data structure. That means in stack, the data will be arranged in sequential fashion one after the other. And another important property of the stack is, this stack data structure follows LIFO principle. That means last in, first out principle. Last in, first out principle. That means in stack, lastly inserted data element will be removed first. Okay, so for understanding this point, I have to explain what is the structure of the stack and how to insert the elements into the stack and how the elements will be removed from the stack. If you can understand that one, you can easily understand about this LIFO principle. Let me tell you what is the structure of the stack data structure. So the stack structure will looks like this. It's similar to box. Okay, if you see any cotton box, so of course we will open one end for the cotton box for putting the data elements or putting the contents into it, right? Similarly, in case of stack data structure also, there will be one end open for us for inserting the data elements into the stack and for removing the data elements from the stack. So that end we are calling it as a top of the stack. Okay, in stack there is only one end will be open for us. That end we are calling it as a top of the stack. So from this top of the stack only, if you want to place the contents, we can place it. Similarly, if you want to remove the contents, we can remove it. So that end we are calling it as a top of the stack. Now see how, if it is a board, if it is on the board, we can represent the stack like this. Then how this stack structure will be represented in the memory. Okay, so implementation part, if you coming to the implementation part of the stack, in the memory, the stack can be represented in two ways. Okay, implementation or representation of the stack in the memory. There are two ways to represent the stack in the memory. First one is array representation. Second one is pointer representation, or we can also call it as linked list representation. Okay. Now see array representation. When we will go for array representation is, suppose before inserting the elements itself, if you know the size of the stack, or if you fixed to store some number of elements into the stack, then we can go for array representation. Suppose if you want to store something into the stack, but you don't know how many elements you are going to insert into the stack, okay, in that case we can go for pointer representation. Okay, so this array implementation is also called it as static implementation, and this pointer representation is also called it as dynamic implementation. Okay, so that means once you fix to size, or once you decide your size before creation itself, then that we are calling it as array representation. If you don't know how many elements you are going to store, then we can go for pointer representation. Let us see these representations one by one. So first we will see the operations performed on the stack. Then we will see how to represent this stack using pointer representation as well as array representation. Right? Coming to operations performed on the stack. Operations performed on the stack. On any data structure, mainly we will perform two operations. One is insertion operation, second one is deletion operation. But if you coming to the stack data structure, this insertion operation we will call it as push operation, and the deletion operation we are calling it as a pop operation. Let us see how to perform push and pop. First one is push operation. Push operation means insertion operation. That means inserting the data elements into the stack is called as push operation. Let us see one example on this insertion operation. Suppose here I have decided my array size as 5. Okay, I know before storing the data elements itself, I have decided to take the array size as 5. So in that case, we can go for array implementation, because we know the size of the array. Okay, size of the stack. So that is the reason we can go for array implementation. Now my stack size is 5. That indicates that I can store only 5 elements into the stack. Okay, so how to represent 5 elements size stack? The size will be looks like this: 1, 2, 3, 4, and this one is 5. There will be 5 blocks in the stack. 5 blocks. As I said, for all the stacks, there will be only one end will be open for us. That end we are calling it as a top of the stack. Right? So here, this is the first slot in array representation. As we know, in array representation, always the indexes starts from 0. So if you can implement a stack using arrays, the indexes starts from 0. So this is the 0th slot, first slot, 2, 3, 4. That means if your stack size is 5, the indexes always starts from 0 to 4. So that means 5 elements we can hold in this stack. Right? Now as I said, there will be only one end open for us. That end we are calling it as top of the stack. That top of the stack, that end we will use it for both insertion as well as deletion. Okay, only from this end we can push the elements and we can remove the elements from the stack. Now the second operation that we can perform on stack data structure is pop operation. This pop operation is also called as deletion operation. So removing the data elements from the stack is called as pop operation. Okay, these are the two main important operations that we can perform on the stacks. The third one is Third one is display operation. This is a common one for all the data structures. After storing the data into the data structure, suppose if you want to print the contents of the data structure, it may be a stack or it may be any kind of data structure. If you want to print it, we will go for display operation. These are the three major operations that we can perform on the stacks. Other than this, we can also have a few more operations like peek function, peek operation. Peek function returns. Let us see the fourth one is peek operation. So the use of this peek operation is, suppose if you want to know what is the topmost element in the stack, then we will go for peek function. So this peek function returns the topmost element of the stack. Now next one is, these are just optional functions. Okay. Now next function is full function. Is full function. This is full function is used to verify whether the stack is full or not. If the stack is full, this function returns true. If the stack is not full, then this function returns false. So why we need to check whether the stack is full or not, or why we need to use this is full function is, suppose while inserting the elements into the stack or while pushing the elements into the stack, we don't know how many empty slots are there in the stack. That is the reason why before performing the insertion operation, we need to check whether the stack is full or not. If the stack is full, we cannot perform insertion operation, right? So that is the reason why while performing the push operation, we need to check whether the stack is full or not. Suppose if the stack is full, then we cannot perform the insertion operation. So that condition is, we are calling it as a overflow condition. Overflow condition. So when the overflow condition occurs, when you are inserting something into the stack more than its size, then definitely it cannot be accommodate those new ones, right? So that situation we are calling it as a overflow situation. So before inserting the elements into the stack, we need to check the overflow condition. So that overflow condition will be verified by using is full function. Next function is empty function. This is just a reverse to is full function. This is empty function is used for checking whether the stack is empty or not. So why we need to go for, or why we need to check whether the stack is empty or not is, suppose while performing the deletion operation, we need to verify, suppose before deleting the element from the stack, we need to verify whether the stack contains some elements or not. Because if the stack is empty, we cannot remove the elements from the stack. If the stack contains some elements, then only we can remove the elements. That is the reason why before performing the pop operation, we need to verify whether the stack is empty or not. So on empty stack, if you try to perform pop operation, then what happens? It will return the error message. That is the reason why we need to check whether the stack contains some elements or not before performing either insertion or deletion operation. Suppose if you try to perform pop operation on empty stack, then that leads to underflow condition. Underflow condition. Underflow means there are no elements to delete, but you are trying to delete the elements from the stack. There are no elements into the stack, but you are trying to delete the elements from the stack. So that condition we are calling it as a underflow condition. These are the major operations that we can perform on the stack. First one is push operation. It is used for inserting the data elements into the stack. Second one is pop operation. It is used for removing the elements from the stack. Next, third one is peek function. Peek is used for returning the topmost element from the stack. And fourth one is display function. Display function is used for printing all the contents of the stack. Next one is full function. Is full function is used for verifying whether the stack is full or not. Then is empty function is used for checking whether the stack is empty or not. These are the major operations that we can perform on the stack. Let us see these operations one by one with some example elements, right? Let us see one example. Let us see the same example of size 5. So here my stack size is 5. That means that I can insert 5 elements into the stack. So always initially there are no elements into the stack. If there are no elements into the stack means that indicates that stack is empty. So that stack empty condition we can represent like this. Initially top is -1. Okay, just now I told you every stack contains one pointer, that is top pointer. Top pointer always points to the top of the elements. If there are no elements into the stack, that indicates that top is not pointing to anyone, right? So that condition we are calling it as top -1. Top -1 indicates that stack is empty. Okay, now see one example. Now I want to perform push operation. Okay, I want to insert some elements like this 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60. I want to insert these elements into the stack. My stack size is 5. That means I can insert only 5 elements into the stack. Okay, see first one is 10. Okay, so how to insert 10 into the stack? So we have only one end into the stack. From that end only I can perform insertion operation, right? So initially stack is empty, so that will be represented with -1. Okay, so top is not pointing to any position. Now I want to insert 10 into the stack. Insert 10. So where to insert 10? First of all, we need to show the empty location for inserting 10 into the stack. That is the reason why what we need to do is, we need to put the top pointer in the first position. Then we need to insert the element into the stack. Now that means how to put the top pointer directly into the first location? Okay, it is not a physical thing, right? Directly we cannot move top pointer to the first location. That is the reason why what we need to do is, while performing the pushing operation, you need to increment the top pointer by 1. So initially top is -1. So increment the top pointer by 1, automatically top pointer points to 0. So now 0th location is empty. So insert 10 into the 0th position. Right? Now next, insert 20. Now where to insert 20? In the next available location. Right? So how to find out next available location? Simply increment the top pointer by 1. Now wherever the top pointer is pointing, insert the element into that location. Now top pointer is pointing 0th location. Just increment the top pointer by 1. Now top pointer moves to first index. That index is empty. Now insert 20 in that position. Right? Now I want to insert 30. So now where the top pointer is pointing? Top pointer is pointing at index 1. But that position is filled with 20. So in this position we can't insert the element. So what we need to do is increment the top pointer by 1 again. So automatically the top pointer moves to the next position, next available position. Then in that position insert the element 30. Right? Now next, insert 40. Okay. So before inserting the 40, just check whether the stack is full or not. Okay. So how to check whether the stack is full or not? Here the stack size is 5. That means 5 elements we can store it. 5th element will be at index 4. That indicates that if top pointer is pointing, size -1 index or size -1 position, that indicates that stack is full. Now here, where is the top pointer? At index 2. So just check whether the stack is full or not. What is the size? Size of the stack is 5. 5 minus 1. So that is 4. If top pointer pointing to 4th index, that indicates that stack is full. But here in our example, stack is pointing at index 2. So stack is not full. We have some empty locations in the stack. Now try to insert 40 into the stack. Right? Now what is the next step for inserting element into the stack? Every time before inserting the element into the stack, we need to increment the top pointer by 1. That indicates that we need to show the empty location for the user for inserting. Right? So increment the top pointer by 1. So top pointer moves to the next available location. Now in this position, insert the element 40. Now try to insert 50. Next inserting element is 50. Right? So where to insert 50? Wherever the top pointer is pointing, at that index we need to insert, right? But here wherever the top pointer is pointing, that position is filled with 40. So if you want to insert a new element, we need to increment the top pointer by 1. So move the top pointer to the next available empty location, that is increment the top pointer by 1. Now the top pointer points to 4. Now insert the element into that location. Now 50 will be inserted in this index. Right? Now try to insert 60. Try to insert 60. Now increment the top pointer by 1. If you increment the top pointer by 1, it reaches to 5th index. Right? But before inserting, every time we need to check whether the stack is full or not. Right? Here, the stack, when the stack becomes full, whenever the top pointer is pointing 4, that indicates that stack is full. But here, now the stack pointer is pointing 4, that indicates that stack is full. If stack is full, we can't insert the locations, or we can't insert the elements into the stack. So here 60 we can't insert, we can't place into the stack because already 5 elements are filled. Already the top pointer reaches to the top minus 1 position, or that is size minus 1 position. So that indicates that there are no empty locations in the stack. So this is the way to insert the elements into the stack. Now if you observe, which is the first inserted element? 10. First inserted element will be in the bottom of the stack. Recently inserted element will be in the top of the stack. Right? That means here just now I told you, stack follows last in first out principle. That is, lastly inserted element will be accessed quickly. Lastly inserted element will be removed first. Okay. So in the top end we have 50. 50 is the recently inserted element. Lastly inserted element. So if you want to delete the elements from the stack, only lastly inserted element will be removed first. So in this example, suppose if you want to delete the element from the stack, which element we can delete? We can delete only topmost element, because only one end will be open for us. So we can perform the deletion operation from that end only. Okay. This is the way to insert the elements into the stack. Now see the deletion operation or the pop operation. Now see the pop operation. Suppose if you want to remove the elements from the stack. Suppose if you want to remove the elements from the stack. Pop operation means removing the elements from the stack. Suppose which element we can delete now? Only lastly inserted element we can remove first. So which is the lastly inserted element? 50. So how can we recognize the lastly inserted element? Wherever the top pointer is pointing, that element will be the lastly inserted element into the stack. Okay, based upon this principle, we can remove the elements from the stack. Whatever element that is pointed by top pointer, that will be the lastly inserted element. You just remove the element from the top position. Then automatically next element becomes the top element. So this is the rule we need to follow for deleting the elements from the stack. Let us see. So now I want to perform pop operation. So which element I can remove first? Only last element. That is, wherever the top is pointing, that element only I can delete first. Okay. So what I need to do is just remove the element from the memory. Okay. Remove the element from the stack. After removing, top should not point to the empty location, because always the last element will be the top element. Now after deletion of 50, next last element is 40, right? So that means 40 should be the top element. Okay, after removal of 50, we need to make the 40 as a top element. So how to make the 40 as a top element? We need to we need to move down, we need to move this top pointer one position down to the stack. Okay, so what is the next element that is eligible for removal? 40. So which element that is on the top, that element only we can delete first, right? So next element that is to be ready for deletion is 40 element. Okay, so just remove the element from the stack, make the next element as a top element. That is the deletion operation. Okay, so what we need to do in the deletion operation is first remove whatever element that is stack pointer is pointing, stack top is pointing. Remove that element, place that element in some variable. Okay, so on the board we can easily erase it. But how can we erase, or how can we remove that element from the memory? Directly we can't erase that element from the memory, right? So how to do that process is, you just take out that element from that position, place it in one variable. That indicates that we are removing that location from that element from the memory. After removal, next element should be the top element. So for making next element as top element, we need to decrement the top pointer by 1. Top equal to top minus 1 or top minus 1. Minus. Okay. So automatically after removal, next element becomes top. Right. Now see, suppose if I want to delete 30 from the stack, what we need to do? First remove the element, then move the top pointer to the next top element. So now the top is pointing to 20. Now if you want to remove 20, what we need to do? First remove the element, then make the 10 as top element. Now I want to remove 10 also from the memory or from the stack. Then what to do? Remove 10 from the stack, move this top pointer to the next location. Here, fortunately, there are no next locations, right? If you are moving top pointer to the next location, means it will point to the minus 1. If top is pointing to minus 1, means that indicates that stack is empty. On empty stack, we cannot perform the deletion operation, or we cannot perform the pop operation. So this is the way to remove the elements from the stack.